Beautiful unicorns, happy Monday. How was your weekend? Yana Kasperczak coming into you live from Ontario, and I'm just trying to also figure out how to do this startup introductions in a way that feels comfortable and aligning with me and gets the message across to all of you as well. So Yana Kasperczak, and I am your spiritual awakening core energy coach. My soul's purpose is to help you get your shit together so you can break free from the mental prison that you find yourself in and live the life that you are excited to wake up to every single morning and stop pushing that snooze button. So to help you do that, I decided I'm gonna do something different. Typically I do just one card reading for you, one card from one deck, but today I thought I will do from two decks and one card from each deck and see how they're aligning with you right now, with what you're going through, what you're growing through, what you're dealing with on your life journey. Whether it's you're watching it today, whether you're watching it live, and you can let me know if you're watching this live or not, or if you are replaying this and watching this at a later point. Does not matter when you watch it, the message gets received whenever you are meant to receive that message. So, that one slipped out. Maybe that's the one that we're going to be doing since it's already slipped out and it's ready to go. So, witch, healer. I feel like that aligns very well with a post that I have coming out today to share with you guys, which is, a straightforward one. These two. Yeah, these two, if you're interested in these two, I can share them with you more through a message through one-on-one if you're interested in this. So one is fire, passion. I feel like that's self-explanatory. This is what you are going through and uncovering right now, and you're feeling the fire within, which also feels uncomfortable. So if it's uncomfortable, but you're still called towards it and you know when you are, then this is the one for you. And the other one, these two, I'm not going to be doing a reading of. Hey, Debbie, how are you doing? Beautiful. Thanks for saying hello. And then the other one, so if you're interested in this one and that one, you can message me and then I will do the reading for you through a voice message. Watchtower of the East, spring. This makes me think of birth, new things coming into your life. And probably these two will be connected. Something new that turns into fire and passion. And there's going to be a little bit of discomfort, as there should be, because fire is heat and feeling that heat within you. But, so, this is the card that we're going to do a reading on, which is Witch, Healer. And then one from here. And let's see how all these two decks align for us today with the messages that we all need to hear on this fiery Monday. And that's this one. I read the back first. You're going through some tough shit. Everyone has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather your tired ass up and handle it. Interesting. I think, let's see how, well, this one is straightforward. There is no book that comes with this deck because it is pretty self-explanatory. You're going through some tough shit right now. You're going through something hard and challenging where probably even this card aligns, which feels like fire and uncomfortableness and resistance as well in there. And the other side, everyone has their turn. Everyone goes through tough shit. Everyone goes through hard times. Everyone has pain and suffering that they experience and they go through. And you're not immune to it, unfortunately. And fortunately for you. So hence, everyone has their turn. Oh, welcome to yours. Welcome to your turn. Gather your tired ass up and handle it. that when you're going through hard times or challenging times, it drains you and it makes you tired. It is such a normal process that we need to practice normalizing it within ourselves and within our mind first and foremost, because I'll use an example of anxiety versus excitement, that in the body it feels the same, but the difference is what the mind does when it comes to translating what the body is saying. So the same thing here, when you're feeling tired and you feel like you can't handle it, that you are responsible to remind your mind to translate it in a healthier way, to translate that anxiety and remind you that there was once a time where you translated that anxiety as a child and you saw it as excitement, because in the body it's the same thing. It's just the difference is with the translator, your brain is telling you what it is. So when you're going through some tough shit, remind yourself that you're growing right now. And of course you're going to be tired because you experience growing pains, and it's absolutely normal. If you weren't experiencing growing pains, then you're not growing. When, we want things to be easy all the time, but if things are easy, then we're not growing, we're not evolving, we're not overcoming ourselves, we're not stepping into the things that we earn. Because the things that we earn, we feel like we earn them because there is some growing pains that we experience. So that's the rebel deck, reminding you to step into your rebellious self and own that shit. And stop complaining that things are hard and start owning the hardness and earning the hardness, because on the other side there's a stronger and more vibrant version of you, and the way to get to her is through some tough shit. So tough titties comes to mind as the phrase. A little bit of Yana's humor into there. Tough titties. Okay, so let's go into the witch, the healer. I think that's going to be the last one. This one actually, or almost last one. Oh no, witch's hat was the other one that I pulled up I think last week or the week before that, and I felt like that one was more for me, so I kept it and I read it for myself. But this one I feel like is going to be quite similar and yet different on its own. So witch, healer. And by the way, I feel a little jittery and like all shaky because I am getting back on the horse of doing the bulletproof diet, and this morning it is the bulletproof coffee, so I'm quite caffeinated and there's fasting involved. So the bulletproof coffee was my breakfast, quote unquote, and hence the jitterness. Jitterousness. I'm not even gonna bother attempting to pronounce that word. You get it. Okay, witch, healer. Honor who you really are. A natural healer who's come so far. Oh shit, my battery is 15%. We gotta do this quick times. Good, I love the fire under my ass. Which is fire, passion. I'm passionate about doing these videos. I'm bringing these types of contents to all of you to help you get closer to your passion and that fire under your ass that feels amazing. Okay, so honor who you really are. You forgot who you really are. So as you start uncovering who you are, continue to honor her in all the ways that you can. And remember that you are a natural healer who's come so far. The witch in you is very real. Trust your work to help and heal. This magic has worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There, it is done. Which is wisdom. Mystery and magic of the old ways beacons you to tap into an ancient wisdom of those who walked the path before you, and recognize that you are one and the same. And some of you already have expressed that you have felt connected to your witch roots, and you've experienced flashbacks even. And this, I feel like, might actually be an invitation to sit with yourself and to sit with the ancestors and with your roots. Let me decline this call. To sit with your roots, to sit with your ancestors, and with the past versions of yourself that have experienced things. And yeah, so that's what I would say, that this one is reminding that you're being called, you're being reminded to tap into that ancient wisdom that you have gathered, that others from past lives have gathered, and that you have access to it. You just need to give yourself the time and allow yourself to practice this craft of tuning in to the universal wisdom, which is within you, just as it is within everyone and anyone. And if you don't practice, whatever you don't practice, you don't get to have and keep. You only get to have and keep the things that you do practice, and continue to practice them whenever you possibly can. Daily practice, of course, best. For within your blueprint, you carry the wisdom of the natural healer. You got the blueprint. You have the wisdoms. You know what you need to do. You just need to keep tapping in and keep practicing and gaining more of that wisdom that is meant to be yours. We're not going to get the same messages when we connect with the universe and with the other dimensions. That what you're meant to get, you're gonna get, and what I'm meant to get, I'm gonna get. And I feel like this is one of the biggest reasons why I invite everyone to share their insights, not just in this video, but in this group in general, because we get to learn from one another, and how you receive the message and how you transcribe the message is going to be differently received by everyone who hears it through you. Hey Rebecca, good morning, beautiful. How was your weekend? Okay, let's keep going. The witch within asks you to connect with the knowledge and wisdom that you have accumulated from many lifetimes, as I said earlier, for it is time to harness your abilities to help heal yourself and others. It's time. You have gathered enough. That does not mean you stop gathering. It just means you gotta start practicing all the tools and all the knowledge that you have gathered, and start sharing that, and you will get more as you share more and more. You don't get less, you get more. You get less only if you keep hoarding it and not sharing it with others. That is when you close the doors and the windows and you stop receiving what you are meant to receive. The flow slows down. It's like creating a beaver's den. When you start to collect and gather your woods and the wisdoms, you stop the flow. So, meaning, you want more, share what you got. Don't hoard it. Don't be fearful of, oh, somebody else is going to do something with my knowledge, with what I've learned. But if you're not doing anything with it, why hoard it? Why hold on to it? And plus, what you would do with it is going to be entirely different than what somebody else is going to do with that same found knowledge and wisdom. So share it, and you'll get more. Seek the wisdom of teachers who mark the land, such as standing stones and trees within a grove, who have absorbed each detail of spent centuries and hold the key to the past. So when you're doing your meditation and you're connecting with the other dimension or the other world, the spirit world or whatnot, do so in nature and do so with stones, with crystals, because they're holding on to wisdoms and knowledge that you can't get anywhere else. If you have trees around your house, have you connected with each and every one of them? I know I haven't. So why not take this invitation to do so? Gather ingredients from plants and fungi. Unlock your herbal knowledge in order to work with recipes for tinctures, elixirs, and healing potions. That's an interesting one. I've been curious about creating our own tinctures and healing potions. Even let's turn this into the recipes, the food that you make. Whatever you're brewing in the kitchen, those are potions that have actual manuscript of what you can put in there. And sometimes when you're following a recipe, which is what's it called? It's a recipe, right? For your witch's brew, the biggest ingredient, the most important ingredient is the intention. And the intention is, when you're making food for your family, the intention is you want everyone to love it. So you're infusing it with love. And you want everyone to feel amazing and great when they consume that food. So that is the intention. The biggest part of any recipe or any tincture or elixir or healing potions is the intention that you put into it. You are a wise and strong healer. There is nothing to fear and everything to gain when witch crosses your path. So just a reminder for all of you that you got nothing to fear, everything to gain when the witches crosses your path. That whatever it is that you're going through, you're growing through it, and you have been given everything that you need in order for you to pass this test and get to the next level of your own evolution. And just because it's hard, that's not a reason or an excuse to quit. It is more of a reminder of what you're about to gain and earn on the other side of that, which is foresight. You are a natural healer. You have a natural affinity with plants and herbs. Study to qualify as herbal practitioner. I'm wondering which one of you are interested in something like that, and which ones of you might already be doing that. Interesting. Use complementary medicine and aromatherapy to heal. You benefit from the healing energies of nature. Honor its rhythms and cycles. Which revealed. Nature calls to women and men to walk the craft of the wise and balance, integrity, and honor. By honoring the god and goddess, lord and the lady, and understanding the role of the high priest, a witch can transform and change all she touches for the greater good of all. This is done by combining knowledge and wisdom, both old and new. So there is a phrase that comes to mind that not all knowledge equals wisdom. And I wanted to share a cute little story in the way of the difference between knowledge and wisdom. So knowledge is that you know that a tomato is a fruit, but it takes a wise person to not put a tomato into a fruit salad, but to put tomato into an actual salad with vegetables. That's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Just because you know something does not mean that you're wise enough about it. So let me see. Debbie says, I started making dandelion root tea for me and my husband. Ghee and big pot of homemade veggie soup. Those are some yummy brews. And I actually looked into dandelion root tea, and the benefits of dandelion root are absolutely incredible and amazing. And you can just gather those dandelion roots and dandelion flowers themselves. They can be put into a salad, and the leaves can be put into a salad. Of course, it's a little bit bitter, but the roots is actually an amazing replacement for coffee. And the benefits are amazing as well. I'm not an expert, so I don't know all the benefits, but you can look into it yourself. And then the ghee and big pot of homemade soup. Ghee is basically butter, but the fat is part of the butter, and it's so good for our bodies and brains, especially for women. And then Debbie added to her comment, more parsley to help clean our systems. Yeah. And Rebecca says, it's freezing for you. The video is freezing. Well, maybe you can rewatch it and it won't be freezing, but I'm not sure why. Could be on my end, but on my end it looks nice and smooth. And then Rebecca says, just starting to learn about real food. Yeah. Me too. I feel like I just started to learn about real food, but I've been on this journey about learning about real food and the difference between, foods that are considered to be whole foods that come out of the ground and are real foods that are alive versus 90% of the grocery store or 95% of the grocery store, which is designed to clog our systems and slowly deteriorate our systems, so we become reliable on the pharma of the pharmaceuticals. I don't want to say the whole word properly, because even if we start connecting the dots and see who owns all the grocery stores and how they are connected to those of the pharmaceuticals, thou shall not be mentioned, how it all goes back to the same pockets. So you can do the rest of the connecting of the dots and see why that is, and choose for yourself what and how you want to live and for how long you want to live. Because if we're also looking into those countries or places where people live the longest, there's a reason why. And number one reason is that they're eating foods that are alive and not foods that are mass produced and that might as well be eating cardboards. And Debbie says, I don't have them here, but my sister gathered seeds for me. Ooh. Oh, you don't have dandelions growing there. Lucky for us, here in Canada, we have dandelions growing everywhere. And they're considered to be weeds. And yeah. Also, the rule of thumb is if you're gathering in nature, to gather your plants at least 5 feet away from the roads, so the way you don't get those emissions and all that stuff that the cars fart out. So foraging, if you can forage more in the forest or in the fields further away than 5 feet, highly recommend. But like I said, if you have a backyard, and make sure that there's no, what do you call them, pesticides or fertilizers that are spread on there, because you don't want to be consuming that stuff either. So that's why I prefer to gather your things in the forest. And as you're gathering, don't take it all. And as you know, as we witches who are healers, we are more connected with nature. Ask for permission. And you will know if this plant wants to be gathered or not, and if it's ready to be gathered or not. And the more you practice that skill as well. And then Rebecca said, ghee is the butter without the saturated fats I made this morning. Yeah. I know there's like a phrase for it. I can't think of it on top of my head. But you're getting rid of a lot of like liquids. I can't think of the word, but anyways, it's more condensed version of the butter. So when making butter coffee, for example, instead of putting 2 tablespoons of butter, I would put 1 tablespoon of ghee, and I get similar flavor, but not exactly the same, because the butter itself has more of the milk in it versus the ghee that it does not have as much milk in there, and as you said, is without the saturated fats in there. And then Debbie says, my mother cooked them like spinach. So that would be probably the dandelions that your mom cooked as spinach. Yeah. And very, very beneficial. Like if or when we start looking into living off the land, you really will start recognizing that you have lettuce growing in your backyard. Depending what country you live in, they have lettuce growing in your backyard. It just does not look exactly the same. And if you want to do an experiment, the lettuce that you buy from the store, plant that lettuce in your backyard. Make sure you take care of it. Don't need to add no fertilizers, natural fertilizer. You can learn what you can do. My understanding that plants like sugar water, it feeds it as well. That's your fertilizer if you want it to grow it bigger and stronger. Salts as well, but making sure the right salts that are added. And a lot of scraps from your yard. But if you plant that lettuce, bottom of the lettuce, the root, after it started rooting, actually some of them can root right in your soil, and they'll start growing right in your soil. You'll notice that it's not going to grow and look the same way as the store-bought one, but it's still lettuce. So it gets me curious as to how and what they do to it that makes it so. And another food for thought, or planting of the seed, pun intended, is that consuming foods or fruits that are seedless, that are meant to be with seeds. What and how was it grown? Is it actual fruit? Is it real food, or is it something that has been grown in the lab? So think and ponder on that one, just for those of you who are interested in living a long, healthy life and are tired of being tired of feeling groggy, tired of feeling like your brain is clouded because you become what you eat. So if you don't like the way that you feel, go to your food. There's actually a thought or quote that I had written down a while back. By changing my food, I change my mood. That was a realization I had, I think summertime, doesn't matter when. But if you don't like your mood, change your food. Your food, what you consume, and also what you consume through your food and consume through your mind, affects your mood, whether you like it or not. So just because that donut made you feel great as you're eating it, give yourself 15 minutes, see how you feel. Give yourself half an hour, see how you feel. And then guess what? The next day, you're going to be groggy, you're going to be more tired, and much more irritable. So that is all I have for you guys for today. My phone is about to die. It's 5%. So thank you very much for listening, for tuning in. You like these videos? Come and join. Make sure you set a reminder on your phone, on your device. Every Monday, I will be doing these videos live. Once in a while, it will be pre-recorded depending on the Monday. Like next Monday, it will be pre-recorded. And bring your friends to this party. Those that enjoy and love card readings, because they find them not only entertaining, but they find these types of card readings, or card readings in general, as a great guide for their next steps in their path. So other than that, thank you everybody. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Rebecca. And I saw Coraline or Caroline has hopped on here as well. And until next time, until next Monday at 11:30 p.m. a.m. ish Eastern time, and tomorrow maybe I shall see you all in the Sacred Circle at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Otherwise, until next time, bye everybody. Thanks for watching.